talking about leaks can be really, really hard. Hello Procrastinator, Sam here, and today I want to talk about these Zippo leaks. Now, you guys know I've been pretty silent regarding all these Zippo leaks and all these leaks that are running around the community, and for good reason. Most of it is because sometimes it's not credible, but regarding this specific one, I haven't been talking about them because I think these leaks might actually be credible, and the only reason I have decided to talk about it now is because it's public knowledge. I just want to say, right out of the gate is that I've heard about this stuff, specifically this leak, since 2019, I believe. And I wanted to refrain from talking about it again because I wanted to wait for it to become public knowledge, and two, because I didn't know if this stuff was legit. As a person who does Sonic stuff, as a person who is a YouTuber, a lot of times people will come to you with certain information and you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. And yeah, this is stuff, word for word, exactly what I've heard back in 2019. So because it matches what I've heard back then, I have reason to believe, and why I think they are credible. Doesn't mean they are credible, but I think they might be credible, and that's why I want to talk about them here today. So with that said, this is what Zippo had to say. Just before we start, there's more articles to come. As I promised, this one just needs to be out there as soon as possible for reasons that I'll explain in a second. Note, none of this that follows is speculation. I just want to make it clear that this is what Zippo's saying, not me. The information that's been given to me was given by multiple, and I mean multiple people with connections to Sega. Seems a lot of people knew about this and were quiet until very recently. This is how it's all been framed to me. Okay, so, seems like some YouTubers, English and non-English speaking, found out about this. So before the story gets spun out into something it actually isn't, I'm gonna drop a bombshell here. Sega were developing the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 remakes, meant for a 2015 release, for PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. Additionally, these were full remakes with reimagined music, a la the Crash Insane trilogy. They were unfortunately cancelled. There's even some evidence out in the public that shows that it did in fact exist, which he shows a screenshot here which shows Sonic Lost World for Wii U coming, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, Sochi 2014, and a new 2015 title to be announced. Remember this? Jazzwares leaked out the existence of the games by pure accident. Sometime in 2013, Sega decided that it was time to go back to the adventure well, so instead of going to Sonic Team, they went to another one of their internal studios, that studio being Sega Shanghai. Wait, there's a Sega of China? I'm sure you're asking, and yes, there is. They've actually been an incredibly helpful studio to Sega as a whole. Here's where it gets even crazier. They've not only worked on the PS2 remake and HD versions of Nights into Dreams, but they also worked on the HD ports of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 for Steam and whatnot, as well as the Dreamcast collection, which was released in 2011. And there's even more. They've worked on Sonic Generations, Lost World, Forces extensively. Sonic Forces even got a release in China. Also, the game also revealed PS4 and Xbox One bundles in China that no other country received. Sega allowed the subsidiary to develop these remakes because of three things. One, they saw China as a potentially huge market to get their foothold in. Two, Sonic Team were not available and were busy preparing the Hedgehog Engine 2, working on Sonic Runners, and starting what would eventually become Sonic Forces. And three, Sega never had any intentions of making 8th generation console owners wait 4 years for a new Sonic game. As I heard it, they originally started as just a remake of Adventure 1 with Generations-like visuals, but Sega was so impressed with their work that they greenlit a remake of its sequel soon after development started as well. Story-wise, it was going to be the modern voice cast and writers, so take that for what you will. What happened exactly? Things seemed to be going well, and by all accounts, things were well, until Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric hit the scene, and bombed critically and commercially. Sega also went through a harsh cost-cutting restructuring in early 2015 where many people were laid off. I heard they were cancelled for two reasons. One, post Rise of Lyric, Sega got cold feet about giving Sonic out to other developers, despite it being their own fault that Rise of Lyric was a rushed, buggy disaster, not big red buttons. I personally see it as corporate finger pointing and them just wanting to save face. 2. Sega was super cost conscious at the time of its restructuring. Here were concerns that these remakes were going over budget, and that they wouldn't be able to make their money back. Sonic Boom's failure scared the absolute crap out of them. Zippo went on to say, I personally think this was an absurd fear in the first place, but we're talking about Sega here. He goes on to say, one thing I heard is that the Adventure Music Experience concert was created in the first place to market and promote these remakes. They were then retrofitted into something else after they were canceled. Can't let all the amazing remade music go to waste, right? These rearrangements you hear below were made specifically for the remakes. He then links to the Sonic Adventure music experience and bonus tracks. Needless to say that if these had actually released, they could have changed everything. We'd be in a much different place right now. But unfortunately, with the failures of Boom and Sega's financial woes at the time, the timing just couldn't have been worse. Maybe one day they'll see the light of day. That's all I can say for now. Hope I could relay this information the best as I could. As always, thank you for reading, wear a mask, and take care. So regarding what I just read here from Zippo, there's two specific things that I want to, highlight that made me want to make this video for you guys. The first one was him mentioning Sega of China's involvement. That is something I did hear back in 2019, and that match, that's too close to be a coincidence, too specific. And the second thing he mentioned here was that something I heard back in 2019, that during the development of these remakes, it was going to be just a Sonic Adventure remake. Then along the lines of development, they were told to include Adventure 2 as well. And that seems to be what Zippo said here as well. Now, there is a part where my memory could be mistaking me, so please don't take this for like word for word. But I do remember something along the lines of 2019 that these remakes may not have been that great, which also led to the cancelizations. I don't remember specifics of what it was with the remakes, but they weren't going to be exact remakes of the full game, if you get what I'm saying. It's something of the sort like that, where the development of the games were not that great, and I believe that also led to the cancellation of these remakes. In terms of my thoughts on the whole thing as a whole, what is there to say other than that this is all just super unfortunate, right? I remember, this is all old to me, but I remember being incredibly disappointed when I first heard it, and I still am. The adventure games are something we love. It's something that we still really want to happen. It's just a shame that, Sega, for some reason, when the water gets too warm, they jump out of the pool screaming bloody murder. I know Boom didn't go well. I get they had to do cost cutting and stuff like that, but I feel like they cut something that would have made them a lot of money, Now, there is a point to this that I don't know for sure. I could be misremembering this, so please don't take my word for it. But there could have been something along the lines of it probably wasn't even a good remake in the first place. I don't remember much specifics, but I think there were certain things that it didn't sound that great at first. Even the part with Zippo in here where he mentions that it was going to have, the new writers and the new voice cast. Well, I don't mind the voice cast as much. I think having the new writers involved definitely makes me raise an eyebrow. I don't know if I like that much. Hopefully they wouldn't have changed that much, but like I mentioned, what I remember was that these remakes were not going to be a one-to-one recreation. There was going to be some changes, and it did not sound like it was a good idea, right? I don't know specifics again of what exactly would have been different in these remakes, but I do remember they would have been different. It wouldn't have been like the full game. So at the end of the day, I do want to just remind everyone that this information is old. Like I said, I heard about this in 2019. They haven't said anything about it, but this information when I heard it was also old. Even Zippo mentions this stuff is from 2015. This stuff is old. Sega definitely did shelve this project, but I want to keep this in mind. Because this information is old, and the last we heard is that they shelved this project, we don't know what their plans are for the future. That doesn't mean these remakes are dead for good, For all we know, Sega could just pick this project back up. I doubt Sega would have put a lot of work into these remakes and would have just tossed them all in the trash. I'm sure at some point they probably will take it off the shelf and work on them again. But it is unfortunate to hear that, again, Sonic Boom got in the way, their financial, stuff got in the way. But at the end of the day, all I have to say is they canceled a really good idea. They canceled something that would have made them a lot of money. But it's only going to make you guys money, Sega, if you do it right and you do it, where it treats the originals with importance. The first thing I think of is Sonic 4. Sonic 4 was a big deal. It was a sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, one of the biggest Sonic the Hedgehog games of all time, and you guys it felt like you guys didn't really care. So when I hear you guys are doing a remake of Adventure, I want you guys to care. I want you guys to treat it with quality. Please understand that, you know, when I'm hearing stuff in 2019 that, you know, it wouldn't have been a 1-to-1 recreation, what probably wasn't even going to be that great, which also led to its cancelizations. I'm happy to hear that Sega understands that, okay, this is probably not going to do well, we got to can it right now. I hope that's the main reason why you canceled it, because again, it could be, you know, financial reasons, and they were just scared of bringing it out to other developers, like Zippo said. But again, Sega of China, you've worked with them before, right? You know, they make a lot of the development for the main Sonic games. I just really hope that if they ever do take them off the shelves again, they work on these projects again, that they really treat it with care and they understand the importance of what they're making here. Crash is a great example. If you make your remakes good, you could then that's the first step to making new games. Imagine if we were to have the Adventure 1-2 remakes and they do good, then that would open the gateway for Sega to finally work on the beloved Sonic Adventure 3, but that's only if Sega can prove themselves with these remakes. So please understand that this information is old. We don't know what Sega's future is. It doesn't mean that the remakes are canceled forever, but yes, this information, it was canceled at some point. They were working on it at some point. What the future holds, we don't know. So with that said, thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. And to all you guys just now learning about this, I am sorry. You're gonna have to go through a grieving process. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. See you later, procrastinators.